anything other than well, not even anything other than just the I don't even remember the name of the other Malfurion.
The
The passive.
disrespect.
At 13, the ice block is my one true love and my many reasonings for that. But we are going to get into the draft. Resurgence going to be first pick, first ban on Towers of Doom. One of my favorite maps to actually see here and watch in the competitive level. And Mile High Club gonna go with that Stitches ban. First pick for Resurgence. Rhaegar, 100%. Not even gonna think about it. Bam, responded. I don't know if that was enough adaptability. I think they panicked. They were so worried about the Stitches. And
I feel like someone called this almost exactly just a few moments ago, Dread, but I cannot for the life of me remember. Had I a thinking cap in the shape of a fedora, I would put it on to try and recall. If you would send yours to me in the take that off, dude. We may not be on cam right now, but nobody deserves to be exposed to that. But Rhaegar is the first pick for Resurgence, and it looks like Mile High Club hovering. Yeah, they're going to choose Kael'thas in response.
That Diablo just a must-have when it comes to their comps. Honestly, it seems like they hold on to this Diablo.
That is their comfort
more than yeah. It's definitely a comfort pick here. Resurgence going to respond most likely. I think it's going to be like a Jaina Thrall. I know I said that last time, and Stitches was in response. Kael'thas being picked up there. I wouldn't be surprised. I feel like a mage like Jaina really fits Resurgence playstyle. With Stitches out of the way, even then, I think like he's going to provide it. And then Thrall with the Zagara band is such a great laner. Overall, can dictate the pace of it. So we see the Jaina hover here, and also synergize it with the Rhaegar. I wouldn't be surprised if they go Jaina Thrall, and then in the ban phase they ban Uther. They go with ETC instead. All right, I like it. Jaina ETC, and then I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if there was an Uther ban just because the Rhaegar pickup. That was things that we talked about. We saw a little bit in the first set of the matches here.
I'm interested to see with Rhaegar coming in, of course, if they choose to go Lightning build, which I'd be extremely surprised if they decided not to. We need more frontline. I think ETC is a great tank. I don't think that he is the most hardy of tanks. He can certainly power slide in there, but as far as sticking power, there are better choices to get maximum value out of that level 16 Lightning talent, the Rising Storm. Do you think that they are going to look at picking up past this ban phase? I know you mentioned Thrall, and I think that he would be an awesome pickup. Should he be banned out right now, who would you pick up for Resurgence in answer to that as another part of that front line?
I feel like Zeratul or Sonya both worked well. Not so much Zeratul, more Sonya, just like more of the bruiser style heroes here. But Resurgence banning the Tyrande instead, saying we don't want to deal with the Diablo Tyrande. We don't care about the Uther. So interesting choice. I don't think it's the wrong answer by any means. I'm just surprised that they don't give prioritization of the Uther. A lot of teams still fearing that kind of Diablo Tyrande comp. And honestly, I don't blame them, especially if you feel like you're the more confident team, not banning just banning more things that are really just kind of like one stupid mistake can set your team really far behind again, which is that kind of comp Diablo Tyrande. It's something I used to do all the time, so I can see where they're coming from with that ban. But Karazim Johanna going to be picked up for Mile High Club.
Mile High Club really liking that double front line. You know, that used to be the major contributor to the Korean meta, is always having that super strong front line to protect your back line. I think that we're seeing it right now as kind of the meta is still shifting around as people try and decide what is going to be the most powerful comp to run. I think when Li Ming does manage to be allowed in these tournaments because enough time has passed, that we may see an even bigger shakeup. But right now, Mile High Club saying this is what we're most comfortable with. In the games that we've seen today, Diablo in every single one of them, and Joanna is definitely also a comfort pick that they like to have on their side. In response, Resurgence is looking at Tassadar, who is a great pickup overall, adding so much utility, especially having the vision with Zagara banned out.
Is it Illidan? Sonya.
Oh, Sonya, okay. Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that have been something?
I was thinking they might just have the confidence to go with the Illidan after that task pickup. I was like, is this it? Is this the super Illidan? But no, it's going to be the super Sonya instead. Like the pickups there. I think one thing I've seen from Resurgence when it comes to their drafts, also is Mile High Club with Tassadar gone going to take a double support. That's what I'm interested in. Double tanks already locked in. Double support. Tyrande and Tass, which have been the pseudo ones that they clutch onto, are both removed from their opponent's roster. So are they going to go hit you with that secret Lily like they did game one?
No,
what are they looking for
I
in
want
this
to
situation?
I want to see Thrall. I feel like with the Mile High Club having that strong front line, already picking up what I would consider to be probably the best melee healer in Karazim, who can be on that front line and contribute so much with his trait. Go ahead.
I want Falstead. 4 melees is too much.
But I mean, if you're gonna go that hard, Nazebo, I don't know.
He's here, ladies and gentlemen.
If you didn't know, Nazebo officially voice acted by Dreadnought, who got his start with Blizzard as the voice of Nazebo, bringing out them frogs. I'm super excited to see Nazebo coming out for the first time in any tournament I've seen recently, period, let alone this one in particular.
Absolutely. It is a pick that we don't see too often. And again, if I had to go purely off the draft, I feel like Resurgence and the Super Sonya and friends are going to really pull out. But one thing it seems when you do look to, oh, excuse me, sorry, I got to get you invited to this game. When you do look to Resurgence, typically, I don't think I've seen them run a melee assassin without Tassadar. I might be wrong on that, but it does seem like it's something they really kind of cling to. But here we go. We are going to move into game number 2 here. Can Mile High Club pull it to game number 3? We're about to find out. They definitely, draft-wise, in my opinion, are going to be struggling a little bit, especially with that Nazebo pick against a double support. That means pretty much with Tidal Waves and Tassadar, they have almost 0 kill potential, but I'm really going to be interested. Garg or Ravenous is going to be absolutely crucial, and I just don't know, Josheb, if they have what it takes.
Shot has shown previously when he plays Tassadar that he does a stupefying job of throwing up those walls in the right places. Towers of Doom is a great Tassadar map. Again, as we mentioned previously, very close quarters, a lot of tight bottlenecks. And if they go in one at a time, I think Tassadar is here to make sure that they pay for it. Nazebo certainly is super good for poke here. I think maybe that was the reasoning behind picking him up on Towers of Doom is, you know, anytime you want to run in there and stop someone from grabbing, Nazebo has one of the safest ways to stop that that altar capture by just throwing out his spiders, throwing up a wall. I don't necessarily think Nazebo was a bad pick here. I think they still are going to struggle maybe a little bit with damage, but as you mentioned, if he picks up that Annihilating Spirit, that could, or Ravenous Spirit, that certainly could be a good answer here. But with such a strong front line, the ability to throw up a Super Sonya, and what I might call a super duper Sonya with the level 16 lightning talent coming out from Rhaegar, Sonya could be a force to be reckoned with as we go into this game. I'm excited to see what they can pull off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how I feel about the Nazebo. I'm really torn on it, honestly. I'm just torn.
Just in
the
general.
Nazebo, it's just, he doesn't do anything better than any other hero in the game right now. The only thing he does is, like, he throws out a big guy that goes, like, runs at you with this empty soul and just eliminates your team if you have no way to deal with him. But with an organized play, it's just not nearly as effective. Not only is it not nearly as effective, but it's also just like one of those situations where it's like, with the double healer, that's the worst case scenario. Like, do you remember some of the problems with Lunara when she couldn't auto attack and get a lot of poke out there? Like, one of the problems, like, with that situation was she never could confirm a kill. And Nazebo kind of suffers from the exact same problem, especially into a double support. That double support makes me so less like, oh yeah, Nazebo's a decent pickup here. I'm really afraid for the comp, especially Rhaegar with the Tassadar shields plus the 16 talent. Seriously, think about how much damage one spin to win is going to be doing on the backline here in the late game.
I don't know what Nazebo did to you personally, but that is the angriest rant I've heard about a hero in a long time. Diablo actually saving Sonya here by kicking him out of what was 4-man body block. It looks like Mr. Sad Panda is going to be the first casualty of this game, only 29 seconds in.
Absolutely, and that's kind of the symptom of seeing Jaina's early game with Sonya. They pair so well together, giving the mobility advantage in favor of the Sonya, which is really her biggest struggle, that she is a melee.
I'm a wizard in a lot of trouble here. Really good slide. He is going to go down quickly, and that gives us a chance to talk about Resurgence with Shot on Tassadar, Daihu on ETC, Killick again on Jaina, Rixie on our Rhaegar, and up top we have Equinox on Sonya.
And White Rice up there on the Nazebo, already struggling to take the Sonya in the 1v1. Not much to say about that. Death Ritual is going to be picked up, so he's going to be trying to get beefier and beefier as the game moves on. But they're already two kills down. They're running the 4-1 rotations once again here from Resurgence and friends. Nothing too crazy. They're sticking to the roots here, and they're ended up it's gotten them a small lead right now. Sonya, bam, pushing on top some more. They're going to lose a full wave of experience there. Mile High Club rotating as 5 and losing XP is only going to hurt their comp even more. And here he goes back to the 1v1 to deal with Equinox.
LOL, I'm a wizard does manage to get back behind his fort there. It felt like Daihu might be looking to get that power slide in again, but he does manage to stay mounted. The altars are going to be spawning 2 pairs here. towards the bottom, and it does look like both teams are going to descend on this, although Resurgence does have a very strong level lead. They're going to hit for right about now, actually.
Yeah, they're going to try and engage on this 2 versus 4 here, though, to try and compensate for it. But if Tassar gets a good shield out, he's actually going to be zombie walled there and shield himself. Equinox is going to have a hard time surviving here. If they do, meanwhile, Jaina's capping on bottom, so once Jaina rotates, it will be a 5 versus 5 on mid, but keep in mind, Equinox health bar is a little bit low here.
Shot actually taking a lot of damage there as well. It does not look like he had to blow anything to get away. Mr. Sad Panda, again, going to be the first one to go down with Equinox finishing him off. LOL, I'm a Wizard, the second, and it looks like this is now a competition to see how quickly they can eliminate them. White Ice, the third one down. Theon turns around. He's going to be able to get away, as will our favorite Monk, but it does look like that's going to be a 2 alter cap for Resurgence to start out this game.
Yeah, and not only that, they have the level lead. They're stealing their opponent's Merc control while they have the advantage up. It's really well done. They're just pushing their advantage as best they can. And a lot of it, honestly, I feel it comes down to comp and just laning decisions, really. I don't, obviously, they are playing really well, but I just feel like if their opponents responded a little bit more appropriately to their situation, they'd be getting away. Rixie getting a little low here. Tashiel going to keep him clutch on that camp. One thing I did want to note, Rixie ends up going Feral Heart at level 4, not going to go, I believe the name of the talent is Stormcaller, which is going to make that level 16 on Rhaegar even more powerful. He is going to go with a little bit of the mana there, not the increased duration on his W to make Sonya even more powerful. But obviously, she's not going to struggle too much with the Tassadar shields and everything else coming into her kit. So Resurgence just establishing an early game lead and again, showing kind of that boa constrictor, never letting up on their opponents when they have that lead.
I do like that Rixie is using everybody's favorite old school technique of dropping the totem and then throwing the lightning shield on it. Before, it was already decent wave clear, but now with the revised talents of Rhaegar, you can get even faster wave clear with that. Mr. Sad Pandas, again, out in the open here. He's going to try and probably Shadow Charge to get away, but no. The suplex comes out onto Shot. He does Shadow Charge, but it sends his body flying. It looks like down here at the bottom, they're going to be able to finish off that front wall completely and maybe even start pushing into that fort.
And look at top lane, LOL, I'm a Wizard trying to run away from Equinox. Gravity Lapse is missed. Nothing's going to stop him here. He misses the Q, though. He is going to be able to walk away. LOL, I'm a Wizard. He's going to be totally fine now. That was really close to being his death. Just one missed skill shot, and it could have been, was really what separated it. So good job trying to find the survivability there, being able to get away from it. 7-tier advantage is going to be picked up for Resurgence. I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't even see that My High Club rotate, just because they are so far behind and they need to catch up in XP. But it looks like they're gonna. Both top laners sees the half rotation from Equinox. Really smart play there to see where his kill toss goes to match him in soak.
I really like that, actually. Equinox with great decision-making there, not just going to the fight out of habit, but waiting to see so that he could respond. Daihu with a fantastic power slide here, going to secure that kill for Jaina as she gets a great Blizzard. Equinox still not feeling like he has to back off, going to go ahead and finish Joanna as well. And this is becoming something of a runaway on the way to 10 for Resurgence.
Yeah, and they're just going to keep doing what they're doing. They have not only the cap here, they have the 2-level lead. They have what I would consider definitely really the stronger comp as well. It's going to be really hard for Nazebo and Mile High Club to really make a comeback into this game. Keep in mind the Death Ritual at level 1 not going to be enough to keep that Nazebo alive. Still not quite as beefy as he can be in the late game, so Jaina is able to one-shot him over that Tribute. They take a cap here, and they're going to just dance around the map. One of the problems with Towers of Doom is actually when opponents get a big lead like this, you're going to see Resurgence. The minute your opponents respond to middle or bottom, like they are right now, after you get the first fort, they're just going to take mid. And then they're going to keep dancing around their opponents. Whenever they try to answer to cap something behind them, they're just going to take the next objective elsewhere on the map. And that's what you're going to see them constantly do here, Resurgence, with their smart decision making here. They're on bottom. Okay, guess what? We're going to push on mid. And guess what? At bottom,
a huge dance there from ETC. Yeah. I did manage to see that. Your least favorite character, Nazebo, is quickly dispatched, and it looks like Diablo is going to go down as well. A lot of overkill here with Ring and Wall being used, but unable to secure that final damage onto Joanna, who is going to be able to get away.
Yeah, and they have another fort. They're going to take these shots, or excuse me, they're going to take these 3 shots. What are their names? I don't even know. The little, I call them pumpkin guys, I guess, are going to end up threatening core here, or mid, excuse me, during this time, which is going to lead to a possible another fort. And with their 10 advantage, they're going to be trying to take as many structures as they can to snowball their shots as best they can. You see Sonya going mid. Well, actually, they go bottom.
Actually,
they only go bottom.
Changes,
they changed that.
Yeah, with the recent changes, they do go bottom. Resurgence keeping up with those patch notes able to denote that they are going to go bottom and do damage to that core. The Nazeebo wall comes out, but only makes it more difficult for Joanna to get away, and it looks like they have effectively escorted them here. They may... Oh, there comes... quick ancestral onto Daihu just to make sure that he is completely safe. But that is going to be 3 more shots on the core as the next altar spawns.
I believe only one made it through, but really the interesting thing coming out from this game is Mile High Club is trying to defend a situation like on bottom right now. They're staying together and they aren't soaking the sidelines even though they don't have 10. They're trying to force a fight that they don't have level 10 on, and they aren't soaking the side lanes to try and make a comeback here. And so you're constantly going to see Resurgence sitting here just saying, okay, well, if you're going to go bottom, we're going to go somewhere else on the map and try and defend and capitalize on their advantage. Mile High Club will not make a comeback into this game until they start split soaking if they keep trying to force these 4 versus 5s while they don't have level 10 advantage. They're already like 3 levels behind, and debatably 4 if they keep up this decision making. Definitely like to see them try and split up. See, they keep rotating to match Resurgence. They need to split soak. This is going to be a really risky situation for them if they stay around too long.
Resurgence is doing an excellent job of being relentless. They are not letting up at all. They're not giving any time for the Mile High Club to stop here. The wall does come out. They are heavily engaged on this. It looks like they are going to keep pushing here. Excellent dance, catches 3 people. LOL, I'm a Wizard doesn't even stop. He just mounts up and leaves, not wanting to have to look into his friends' faces as they listen to that terrible country music that puts them in the cold ground.
Again, risking a situation where they aren't even level 10. The soak elsewhere on the map, and that's why Resurgence is honestly gaining this big of a lead. They snowball the game in their favor a little bit, and then just with the lack of minimizing their losses here, Mile High Club is going to keep falling farther and farther behind, almost to what is like a 4-level lead at this point in the game. Now you're going to see that dance with the top 4 up. You're going to see Mile High Club respond to it. The minute that goes down, you're going to see Resurgence says, okay, you want top, we're going to take mid, we're going to take bottom. They're going to just out-rotate their opponents and dance around the map, never taking a fight that they don't have to, ensuring the fact that they walk away with a win here and move on to the next round.
Again, Jaina choosing to take Icy Veins over Ice Block. I think Jaina feels particularly safe after these engagements. She's just trying to get as much damage out as she can. Not so much worried about getting picked off here. She would be a prime target for the Mile High Club, who does manage to hit 10 here. This is going to be their first engagement if they choose to take this, but I don't feel like they have a choice being this far down. Diablo goes in to explore by himself and is quickly dispatched. The wall coming up from Shot to make sure that they can get this unanswered, and it looks like they are going to be able to pick it up here. Joanna may be able to get one more interrupt. No, they do get this uncontested, and they pick up a Diablo kill for their trouble.
Yeah, and there it goes. They're going to get 8 more shots on the core. Only 8 left at this point. They have 13 tier advantage over their opponents. I mean, Resurgence is really kind of establishing dominance here. And that was the first time that we saw Mile High Club hit level 10, finally looking to take a fight. And then it all it took was one misstep going in by themselves, and he goes down, Diablo, to where they can't contest. And even then, they were still down to Talontier here. So they are looking for a small engage here on the mid lane, though. They're trying to force as hard as they can for this 4 vs 5, but Blessed Shield, the whole team not working together there, and they're going to walk away with cooldowns burnt and a Talontier down. And look at this, here's going to be the turn for Resurgence.
Oh man, so quick. Here comes that spirit though from Nazeebo onto the Resurgence front line, but it does look like they have to give it up. Mr. Sad Panda taking a lot of damage. The dance again coming out from Daihu. Achy breaky hearts as 2 more hearts are broken and they go down. That's going to be a 4-for-0 trade and another quick pickup on a 4 here.
Yeah, and the Ravenous Spirit literally just tickled that double support comp there. Honestly, when you have tidal waves with the proc there, it's just essentially going to set it up to where he is just going to be able to heal so much. And Tassadar with the pseudo healing as well with his 4 and 7 talents is barely able to break past like half their health there. Even working with the APOC there, and they're going to back out, take all the forces they can, try and get a structural lead, and just keep the pressure on. Get 16 tier advantage and keep forcing the fights. As this game has kind of been since about level, I don't know, 12 to 8, this game has pretty much been Resurgence's game to lose here. But a good zoning wall on top. Oh, I'm a Wizard, maybe going to lose his life here.
Takes a lot of damage. It does look like they blow the Blessed Shield there to get the stuns out. LOL, I'm a Wizard still pushed up. He is not out of range. A good spear from Equinox could spell disaster. Oh. Great wall from Tassadar, making sure that she cannot get away. The palm does have to come out onto her. It looks like LOL, I'm a Wizard way out of position here. Gonna probably pay for it with his life as Daihu indeed does get the power slide and the knockback. Sonya Equinox not willing to let them get away, and that is going to be a second pickup. Kel'Thas and Karazim both going down. as the last set of alters come out here, what went wrong for Mile High Club in this game that they're going to probably lose the game right here?
They are going to lose the game here with these final shots coming into the court. What really went wrong for Mile High Club, beyond comp maybe not being fully optimal with the Nazebo, which I'm not even going to harp on any more than I already did. A lot of it came down to the fact that, okay, yes, they got snowballed on a little bit, and they struggled to win the 4-1. Sonya bodying the Nazebo in the top solo lane. They didn't have a very good solo lane to deal with her, but then they also lost the 4 rotations between mid and bottom, and even on a big map, that strategy should be easier to counter than on the smaller maps. So they fell behind, they lost top lane, they lost mid lane, and they lost bottom lane all at the same time. Mix that with the fact that they then also got a couple of picks, and then by the time that their opponents hit level 10, they were trying to force the fight down level 10 over a structure they didn't even own, and didn't soak any of the side lanes, letting Sonya go top, soak, push for free, while they're forcing a 4 versus 5 where they don't even have their ultimates. And that honestly snowballed the game to the point where there was almost no comeback for Mile High Club, no matter how well they played when they fell that 3 to 4 levels behind. And it all started with the level 10 lead and the lack of soak in the side lanes. They did not minimize their losses at all. They honestly made them even harder and harder trying to take those fights that were very low or high risk, low reward. And I mean, they got punished for it. Resurgence capitalizing almost flawlessly.
As you mentioned earlier, Shot playing a great Tassadar. The walls there, jaw-dropping, managing to catch them out so much. And not just catching them out, but the follow-up power slides into dances by ETC. I know he had at least one 3-man, and he had several 2-man dances as well. Really unwilling to let any advantage go to waste. That did end with a 21 takedowns to 0, as every time Daihu had the opportunity to secure a kill, he took it. Made sure that there was no opportunity for them to get away. Everyone on Resurgence playing a great game that game. I mean, really impressed with the spectacular blizzards from Jaina. There were some wondrous heals there from Rixie. Just astonishing slams from Equinox. The entire team of Resurgence saying, this is our opportunity to grab a spot for the tournament, and we want to make sure that we take this as quickly as possible. The decision-making was marvelous for Resurgence. They knew whenever the rotation was happening, as we mentioned, with Sonya staying there in the bush, not moving by default, but waiting to see who was going to soak, taking advantage of that one-on-one up top. Really impressive play all the way around.
Yeah, no, they did a really good job. Resurgence pretty much just showed why they were expected, kind of like in my eyes, to be the winning team there. They definitely can play really well, and they did. They did almost everything perfect. The only thing, personally, I would have liked to see different is them take advantage of structures over the minions when they had 10 advantage. But that's not even like a thing where it was like a misplay. It's more of like a preference when it comes to shot calling and decision making. So, I mean, they capitalized as hard as they could, and it showed. You don't walk away with a 4-level lead just being a little bit better than your opponents. You are constantly pushing your lead as hard as you can, because that snowball underdog effect comes into play, especially when you hit the 3-level lead. So they did a really good job. But they're going to move on to the round of 16, and they're going to their opponents are going to be Ascension Zenith, who took out Zot, who we casted last week. But no other names that I do recognize out of that. So we're going to see them moving on to the round of 16 and taking Ascension Zenith in a best of 3. And see if this team that I do not personally recognize, Ascension Zenith, is going to be able to walk away with a win here. It's going to be pretty interesting, but we should go to a small break so we can get the bracket updated and everything else going here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for every one of you guys tuning in, and we'll be back in just a couple of seconds.
Thanks so much, guys. We'll be back after this.